What's up, guys? ODST General back again today with Rescue 2 Everyday Heroes, or Rescue Everyday Heroes 2, I suppose is the proper way of saying it. And I'm really psyched to play this game. Before we get going, this is obviously the sequel to Rescue Everyday Heroes 1, which has a European version and a American version. I played the American version, and honestly, the first one wasn't really that great, but this one's added some really cool features I'm really excited for. This is made by Rondo Media, who is the same group of people who make Firefighter Simulator and a number of other simulators. However, this is far superior to their airport firefighter simulation. Getting into it, if you guys are familiar with the first game, if you haven't seen any of the media for this yet, you can tell this is already way different right off the bat. One of the features that they strongly pushed for in the first game was the ability to basically, customize your station, and you'd have all these people in it. Change that to yellow. You'd have all these people in it, and you could, put in like gym equipment and more toilets and stuff, but there was no point to most of it. I think the gym equipment was like the only thing that actually had any purpose. They had some office with some training stuff. And, it's all automatically built in. You can't really do anything with the station itself, which is kind of a shame, but it's what you can do with the apparatus and the people that makes this really awesome. Right off the bat, while I was talking about that, you guys might have noticed I changed my ambulance to yellow. I know some firefighters are like, oh my god, why did he make a yellow ambulance? Why is the fire engine yellow? And the correct answer is that they're sick. They're very sick, and that's why they're yellow. But there's more that you can do with it. Your vehicles have conditions that they go through. The more wear and tear you put on their condition gets worse, and you have to repair them. The fire engine doesn't really have much going on. It costs $50 to repair it. This costs $75. And then you also have equipment that you can purchase and stuff. So you get to select who's on your truck. You get to choose who's on the truck, so you can switch out firefighters. You can select what equipment goes where, so you can purchase extra equipment and change it out in vehicles depending on what you want. So maybe you don't want fire extinguishers on a vehicle for some reason. Maybe you're only about the attack line, or maybe you want like an extra med kit on the fire engine. You can do that. Here you got med kits. I'm not even sure which one this is specifically, but that's on there. You can get a second medic on here, which I need to purchase. As you go through the game, you'll get the option to purchase extra vehicles. I believe some of these first few vehicles you get for free. And then as you go along, you get more stuff. So like there's a medium fire engine, which obviously is capable of carrying more people and I would assume more equipment. Bulk water carrier, water tender, foam tender, and a powder tender. So, the ladder vehicle, that's new, and I'll get into that in later gameplay video as I unlock it. But this is all obviously brand new stuff. This wasn't in the previous game at all. You couldn't buy stuff like that. You could buy new vehicles, but you couldn't really customize them like that. You could select who went on the vehicle for a mission, and you could buy the vehicle. That was about it. You can customize the people's names. And with that being said, if anybody who watches my videos wants to have their name on a guy, let me know. I'll throw your name on there. I believe it's 10 characters that you can have. So try to keep it short. If you give me a long name, I'll try to cut it down as best I can. So if you want to see me fail miserably at trying to put like a really long name and make it short, let me know, or put a long name on there. Another cool feature too, beyond the customization of the fire engines, is the capability to customize your people. So if you go to View Talents here, you'll see that I have the options. There's this, guy ranks up. He goes from EMT to EMS Field Supervisor. And he gets different skills along the way. So like his first one makes him either faster at setting up or faster at carrying people. They'll use paramedic kits. They'll use defibrillator or 50 healing power towards firefighters. So there's some really cool stuff. I want to go with South Speed. I don't have my, most of the time I think my firefighters are probably going to be carrying people out of burning buildings and stuff. I'll have medics on standby to treat the patient outside the building. So we're going to do this. And we're going to It actually, I don't think there's any way to save that. I think it just automatically saves. I selected that before and it didn't go through. For some reason there's a cop car sitting outside, but we'll go back out to the map here. As you guys see, this map is pretty large. As you progress through the game, you'll unlock 2 more fire stations throughout the city. I don't know their exact location. I think one's around in here somewhere. And then the third one, I'm not sure, but I presume is either up in here or, you know, up in this spot right up here. So I got tutorial missions to do here, so let's do this. Divider and fuse box training. Okay, so let's start this. Now, as your vehicle's... Oh, it's going to be kind of loud here. Let me turn that down. Actually, you know, let's get rid of the music just altogether here. And... sorry about this, folks. Turn that down. We're going to turn down the master volume just a tad bit. And we're going to put this out. So obviously electrical fires you don't want to use water on. But I have a feeling it's going to make me try to use water on it. I want to shoot my firefighter and murder him.
Understood.
You get to an attack line.
Setting up.
One available. It's going to make me set up first. Okay.
Yes. Understood.
Is it available yet? I know how this works.
Understood. Understood. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Okay, so
Yes.
this game is very similar to Emergency, but thankfully this one it's kind of separated itself from. It's kind of
Setting up.
cartoony. Some people have said, and I would agree with that.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's the features it adds that really set it apart. You know, obviously, like I said, you get the ability to manage your station. That's the biggest thing, and it's definitely improved since the last game. The last game almost felt like a knockoff. Am I supposed to use this fuse box to turn off the electricity? Okay, so I can turn off the electricity, I guess. So we'll hook you back up.
Setting up. Understood. Setting up.
I don't know where this fuse box is. Oh, right there.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
So, it's kind of interesting. No, you could do that.
Yes.
Thought they had, like, plain water things. And then, as you guys can see, you can actually extinguish nearby fires from the splash of your fire here. So, as he's extinguishing this fire, the water's splashing off and hitting the boxes next to it. And you can see the timer where the timer's going around indicating that it's going to heat up and start on fire. You can see it going around and shutting off. Okay, so we're done with that. Firefighters are complaining.
Fire reported.
Okay, so we got dispatch. And we're going to dispatch out our light engine here. As we dispatch out units, you can't start the unit until units arrive on scene, so they'll actually drive from the fire station up there. Let's see what this one says. So, I'm assuming that, I haven't obviously played through this and I don't know everything, but here's the currency, and I'm not sure if you guys can see that because Twitch has it covered up on my screen. But you have currency, and then you gain reputation as you well, you know, if you do well on fires, and then you get your extra stations and stuff. Alright, so I'm not sure where the engine actually comes in from. Assuming it's up this way somewhere. Yep, there it is. That big yellow box. I just wanted to be yellow, be different, and no other color felt quite right. They've also improved the range
Understood.
at which the
Setting up.
engine's capable of attaching. Oh, cool, I do have 2 guys now.
Yes. Affirmative.
Well, we probably shouldn't need this, but we'll set it up just in case.
Affirmative. Understood.
Our engineer's going to get back in the vehicle. He
Setting
should operate it, but he's not going to. Apparently he's too good for that.
Affirmative.
Let's see how it is.
Understood. Yes.
Nope. Don't disconnect the
Affirmative.
tool. Set up divider. That was supposed to tell me how to do that. Oh.
Affirmative.
Yeah, never mind. The Y tool, I guess that's the divider is what they meant.
Setting up. Understood.
Could have also
Setting up.
grabbed a portable extinguisher with him, but
Understood.
I want to start extinguishing this fire
Yes.
and then this one here. I want this spreading out to hit this stuff.
Understood.
Okay, now I can do that and start extinguishing these two next to it.
Affirmative. Understood.
I'll have this extinguished. Yeah, I got it extinguished before I could even get my second guy over there. So one of my firefighters is ranked up. Costs a little bit. Total cost 30. So it costs a little bit of money to send somebody out. So the more people you send out to a mission, the more it costs. I don't know if you're able to send out people to a mission afterwards. Local news shows, or has people talking about how great a job the fire department did. Okay, some more electrical training here. That's pretty good, I guess. We got electrical fire going on here.
Affirmative. Yes. Affirmative.
Alright, so the door's locked. If you click a locked door, they automatically pull a fire axe out who knows where and grab it. I wish there was a little bit more detail where you had to go back to the truck like an emergency.
Yes.
So yeah, you want to get the fire extinguisher because it's, you know, foam.
Understood.
You know, it's not water based. You're not squirting electricity with water, so that's much better. There's a big poof of smoke. That was fast too. I guess that's because it was a training fire. Okay, that was easy. Tutorial mission. Alright, 12 minutes, huh? So right now, I've got, I guess because training missions don't count, but you're able to transfer vehicles and personnel. So you're able to say, I want to transfer a vehicle, and then, you know, the guys that are assigned to it. Keep up on maintenance of my vehicles here since these are my first ones. Make sure they stay nice and good condition. And then when I get a chance, I think I'm going to probably try to get a second paramedic, but I'm not sure yet. And, yeah, and then we kind of wait. There we go.
Casualties reported. Caution advised.
Oh, I had to sneeze there. Sorry, guys. Okay, so this looks like it's going to be a decent-sized fire. Smoke has been detected in the residential neighborhood. Get to the house and determine the source before the house burns down. Locate and rescue the homeowner. So we're going to want both the ambo and the engine. And this is why it's a good thing that you unlock the other fire stations eventually, because obviously that's a very long drive to drive all the way down. Oh. Ooh, that's not good. Now I have a second ambulance you have to dispatch out people to. No, I don't even have money to buy an ambulance, so just gonna have to kind of wait. If you guys look too, there's also a timer, so you know, dispatching people out here. I want to test something here because I haven't tried this. I want to know what happens if I start this mission before the ambulance arrives. Okay, so the ambulance looks like it still is going to come in, presumably. Yep, the ambulance is there. The engine's somehow behind the ambulance, even though it's the other way around, I think.
Affirmative.
Okay, so I don't think I can use these ones in the ground yet. So we're gonna go up here. Ambulance is a bit close. I wonder if I can move this. Oh, okay, so it's gonna be like that where you can move the ambulance without people in. I see how it is.
Yes.
He's gonna check the door. And this fellow.
Affirmative.
Oh. He's trying to get an attack line.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Setting up. Setting up. Affirmative. Understood.
Okay, so he's going to conduct the primary search while our second guy goes in with the initial attack line.
Understood.
Start extinguishing this fire.
Understood.
Oh,
Understood.
yeah, there he is.
Affirmative.
That was a fast drive. He's like, oh my god, this guy's so heavy.
Affirmative.
Get him off of me.
Understood. Understood.
And you...
Affirmative. Affirmative.
I didn't set the fly, so we're just going to get a
Yes.
extinguisher.
Understood. Yes.
We're going to get in there and just try to start extinguishing the fire. Which doesn't look like there's much point to it just because it's already extinguished. Just got to wait on this guy here to take the patient to the hospital.
Affirmative.
He'll get in automatically.
Understood. Affirmative. Understood. Affirmative.
Okay, so...
Dispatch 1.
Now I'm not sure if the ambulance is going to go straight here or if it's going to go back to the station first. We're going to find out at this intersection here, because if it goes back to the station, it's going to want to go down and around this way, I think. Awesome, it looks like it's going to go up there. And he'll go back down and around. So that's really cool. Obviously, we want to start the mission sooner rather than later.
Unit reporting in.
And we got 2 injured victims. Unfortunately, I only have 1 paramedic still. I do have enough to buy a second one, though, so we're going to get him as soon as we finish this mission. Obviously, we want to go for the most critical patient first.
Affirmative.
And
Understood.
use the aid kit.
Affirmative. Understood. Understood.
I don't know. I'm going to get to him.
Affirmative. Understood.
Ambulance is like, get out of my way, I'm a ghost ambulance. I should still have enough time to get to him, even though my guy's going super slow. It would be nice to have a second ambulance. So it does look like you can dispatch out units in the middle of the scene, which is awesome. I really like that capability to have that.
Affirmative.
In the last game, you were able to, basically whoever you sent out is what you had, but then you were able to dispatch out additional units once you were on, or like calling like local units, I should say. Okay, so I don't know if I can treat him. I guess with the EMT, all I can really do is just transport him back, it seems.
Affirmative.
Or maybe it does seem as slow to even stopped it altogether from stopping him from bleeding out. It's not moving now. He's still moving. Okay, so we're going to load the patient onto the ambulance, and then we're going to hit the road and get to the hospital.
Understood.
Doors close by themselves because it's the magic ambulance. And they're going to go off automatically, and they'll come back automatically here shortly. Now, sadly, there doesn't seem to be an option, at least that I've noticed, to play with American units like Airport Firefighter, where you can just switch between the two on the fly.
Yes.
Nope, you're going to go up here. That was an impressive turn, though. Oh, you can notice. I wonder if this guy's got that capability to knock that down with an axe.
Yes.
That's a no. If I had a firefighter, he could.
Understood.
So we're going to get our aid kit here, and we're going to take a look at our patient.
Affirmative.
And then we're going to put the aid kit away almost immediately.
Treatment.
I do wish this was a bit more like emergency too, where you actually like had to like treat the patient from like different conditions and you could treat them back up. But that might be, like I said, something that we can expect with
Understood.
the actual paramedics kit and stuff like that in the defibrillator.
Understood.
And wait for hospital button to pop back up.
Affirmative.
Alright, so I think this is going to be our last call. We'll do the ladder truck real quick before I end too, because that shouldn't be too long, but we'll, this will be our actual last dispatch. So, we don't need that, we can just start this tutorial right away.
Yes.
So our ladder truck's all set to go, we got somebody up on the roof it looks like. I don't know if you had to actually extend it like that, or if you just had to click the roof like I did the first time. Okay, so how do I... Oh, firefighter's already out. Okay, so then you just tell the firefighter to go up. And this looks really good. Like, Emergency 5 puts shame by this, where you just put the ladder up and the guy gets in the basket and stuff. And as the firefighter actually, like, climbs up the ladder and everything.
Affirmative.
And we carry him down the stairs. I know it defeats the whole purpose of the training exercise.
Affirmative.
Okay, so how do I climb down the ladder?
Understood.
Oh.
Understood.
Okay, just click the truck itself. Okay, so he does climb down with the patient and everything. Yeah, it's hard to believe this is made by the same people who make Airport Firefighter. It really is.
Yes.
Okay, so our patient's down. Yeah, you guys should really be standing there, but that's fine. Retract the ladder. I guess I need to retract it. You can't actually move them. I win. Right? Yep, there we go. Okay, let's see what they have to say. Oh, I got a hamster named after me. Apparently we have several parties. You know, like several parties since the single dispatch.
Song status. Fire reported.
But we're going to save it here, guys. We'll pick this up a little bit later on.